Good evening, everyone. Let us start with today's session Introduction to AI. So, everyone has heard the term artificial intelligence. Most of you are heard about machine learning, deep learning. You want to know about like how we are using AI in our daily life. We all of us are using artificial intelligence in some form, like you are using mobiles, you are using smartphones, you are using Ola, Uber applications. There are number of softwares that are AI enabled, which we have to know, we have to understand, like these are the software which are AI enabled and we are using in our daily life, right? So today's session is all about artificial intelligence. What is machine learning, what is deep learning, what are the applications of artificial intelligence, what is the basically the framework about AI, ML and DL. So let's begin with the session. First of all, we need to understand what is artificial intelligence, how this concept arrived, who has coined this concept, who has given this name, that is artificial intelligence. We should know, and what is behind that intelligence, how it has built. The first of all, building artificially anything like a brain which can think, which can speak, which can understand our language, right? And we are writing the intelligent programs for making the softwares that are AI enabled. So everyone has heard about artificial intelligence. We should know who is the father of AI, who has coined this term. So basically in 1950, in the years 1950, Alan Turing has introduced the concept that a machine can think, machine can speak, machine can solve our problems, machine can basically give the solutions in a faster mode, in an efficient mode. So he has only thought about like a machine is developed, a machine is to be there which can help the human beings. So it was Alan Turing which has introduced the concept, but the main concept, that is a name given to that machine, that is artificial intelligence, is by the father of AI, that is John McCarthy, in the years that is 1955 to 1956. In between this, the term has coined, that is artificial intelligence, is done by John McCarthy and other researchers also. So in behind that, what is artificial intelligence? Like suppose I'm talking about what are the goals, why we are building these machines. So we are building these machines, like we have chatbots, we have Google Nest, we have Alexa, right? And it can understand our language, it can speak with us, it is basically providing us the solutions, it is providing us the answers, it is giving us knowledge. Earlier we used to have dictionaries, but nowadays there are so many softwares that are AI enabled and that we are using. So let me conclude this thing. The what are the goals, what are the characteristics, or you may say what are the functions that this AI technology can do. The first is it has the intelligent behavior. It can learn from your past experience. So there are a number of applications in the later slides. You will find out how machine learning learns from your, like what are the applications we are using, they are AI enabled and they are basically learning about your experience. The machine learns from your experience. So form is basic funda behind that is the learning part. The machine learns from our input. It demonstrate, it can demonstrate, it can explain the things, it can advise. Like there are a number of applications that are helpful in healthcare sector. Like you have Arogya Setu app, it is going to help you out, like it you can self assess there and you can locate it, like the number of patients which are detected positive around your area. So it can give you the suggestion also, like these are the, and there are a number of other applications also, like I can give you one example of health map. So health map is basically what it is doing. It is going to give you the medicines. The patient is going to be prescribed with medicine according to their disease according to the, like, whatever he is detected with some disease. So it is what, how it is done, it is done with the data set only. And how we implement AI, how we build artificial intelligence system, what is the difference between, like, suppose I am saying in our lab two systems are kept, both are computers, how you will identify this is AI enabled software, how you are going to identify. So basically, when we have data, when the system is going to be trained with some data set, and it learns from the user behavior, we train the model. Earlier we don't have such kind of things, so we train the model with some data set. And obviously, when we are writing the intelligent programs, and the machine is going to be trained with such a huge amount of data set, like nowadays, in advance it is predicted, it is forecasted the weather information, or in, like, today's pandemic time also, you may identify, like, everybody knows, like, these number of patients will be having in this month, or in the coming months we will have a peak level, or you may say in this particular area we have high traffic jam. There are number of applications of AI because it provides the information in advance. So one of the feature is prediction, and prediction in advance, that is, it is giving you accurate results. Earlier we don't find, like, news channels are showing today rain will come and no rain is there, because the forecasted records have done something wrong. But nowadays we are using AI technology for predictions, for forecasting the weather. So this is one of the technology that is on the boom. And everybody, like, in near future we will have a machine learning and deep learning kind of thing. And the most important thing is everybody is using AI and they don't know they are actually using the AI enabled systems. So today we will be discussing about how we are using AI enabled objects, small objects we are using which are AI enabled. So we will be discussing about what are the applications that we are using in our daily life in the coming slide. Yes. So one of the application that we are using, that is a technology we are using in number of things, like internet of things. So internet of things, don't get confused, like internet of things is a part of AI. So basically artificial intelligence is something different, and internet of things is something different. They talks about electronics, they talks about software. But when we have AI, it is basically we write intelligent programs, and it can be weak intelligence system or it can be strong intelligence system. It depends upon the data set it is having. Like, if we train the model, like today's in real life, we are using only and only weak intelligence system. Like, for example, I'm giving you one example, like I'm going to use Alexa. Everybody uses Alexa, or everybody is going to use Google Nest, right? Now these systems are AI enabled system. Earlier we don't have such kind of system which can talk with us, which can understand our language. But nowadays there are a number of systems. You can have Google Translate, you can have predictive text, you can have multiple applications which is going to, or you have sentence segmentation, you have sentimental analysis, you have email filters, you have number of applications in today's life we are using. So first is computer vision. Let me take some of the examples of computer vision. Suppose I am going to have a phone, and to unlock my phone I may be using my face to unlock my phone. So basically it recognizes my face patterns, right? It recognizes my features, and I train the model with some data set. Like, once you train the model, you feed some 10 to 15 images into the phone, and then later on when you put the camera on your, like, you put phone in front of you, it is going to unlock your phone. How it is possible? But sometimes, like, if I have trained with my face and sometimes I put mask on my face and then I try to open my phone, it basically denies. It says it does not recognizes my face. How? Because I have not trained the model with such data set. So the more the data you train the model, the more it is going to give you the accurate results. So this is one of the application I'm telling you about, that is computer vision. Now what is computer vision? Identifying the objects from an image. So you have, like we have Google Meet, you have, you may be using Zoom, you have virtual backgrounds, right? Everybody puts virtual background, and in front of that, like my face is coming. It is basically identifying the object from my virtual background. So how it is possible? It is that the computer should have vision. The computer has eye that can identify the objects from the image. So this is very very important domain of AI. So this is, and in this domain we have number of applications. It's not about only face recognition. You may have handwriting recognition, you may have pattern recognition system, you may have like you have x-rays, you have x-ray images, or you may have the ultrasound images. It is going to identify the different diseases. It can predict the number of diseases while analyzing those pictures. Now it is basically, it can identify the pictures, it can identify the objects from the picture. How the computer is having the computer vision. That is the vision of the computer. So it's one of the domain of artificial intelligence, that is computer vision. If I'm talking about communication, or if I'm talking about music, or if I'm talking about your other applications like medical science, also I have given you one example. So if I'm going to talk about natural language processing, we have multiple applications in natural language processing. So taking a simple example, everybody is using Gmail. Everybody is using Gmail nowadays, right? You receive a mail and it automatically categorizes, segregates your mail into different folders. Like this is your important mail, this is your primary mail, this is your spam, this is your basically, you may say it directly move into the promotion mails, or it directly move into the social media types of social folder. So how it is segregates? Earlier it was not there. How it segregates? So it is, yes, it is one of the application of artificial intelligence, that is natural language processing. It filters the email. How? Let me give you the example. Suppose I have received an mail from any website like Amazon, right? And it is giving me some discounts on some products, and it is offering me some coupons, or you may say vouchers. So it may, the NLP, the artificial algorithm, is going to read the content of the mail, and it identifies some of the keywords like discount, sale, voucher. These are the keywords which it is going to segregate into different folders. So it is directly moving that type of content, that type of mail into the promotion mails, in the promotion folder. And if we are having some spam mails, like you are receiving lottery or this kind of mails you are receiving, directly moves into the spam folder, right? How? So it understand the content of the mail, it understand the keywords that are identified, that are basically mentioned in the mail, and accordingly it segregates the mail into different folders. So it is very, very important. You should know, when a language is processed, when a language is understood by the system, the model, that is natural language processing, and it is one of the most important domain of artificial intelligence. So yes, there are a number of applications. Suppose I'm using Google Nest at my home, and I'm going to ask the Google Nest to play some songs. I can speak in Hindi, I can speak in English, and the Google Home is going to process my request, right? How it understand, how a machine is understanding my language? What do you think? Yes, it is AI enabled. Yes, it is processing my language, it understands my language. There are number of steps behind that, how it process this particular sentence. There is a process behind that, and that is not a simple process. Yes, it is a complex process behind that. But Everyone nowadays is using such kind of system. You have Google Assistant, and you are speaking something, like suppose I'm speaking something and it is understood by Google Nest. How it is going to understand? How it is going to talk with me? If I'm going to ask Google Nest play a song or tell me some joke, how it is going to understand? It is a machine. How it is going to talk with me? So it can understand my language. A data set is trained. A data set is meant. A data set is feeded into the system, and the training is to be done behind that. We train the model with such kind of data set. Then only the machine is going to react. So it is not only about the number of applications, it is not only about AI. There are number of domains of AI which basically segregates the data. Let us take another example of applications of AI, that is data science, right? You are using policybazaar.com, you are using shopbugzilla, you are using recommendation systems. Let me talk about Netflix. What is Netflix? Suppose today I have watched some movie related to some old movie. I like old movies. So I have watched some old movies. And tomorrow when I open the same system, my account, it is reflecting me some of the recommendations of old movies. How it learns. How it knows that I like the old movies, or yesterday I have watched the old movie, so it learns from my previous experience. Yes, the machine learns from my previous experience. And according to that, it provide me the recommendations. Right? So this is again one of the domain of AI, that is data science. It deals with number of data set, and we are going to train the data set with that particular domain. Like suppose I am talking about weather, so I may be training the system with 10 years of or 20 years of data set. We are training the model with that data set, and later on it is going to predict, like this week you will have rainfall, this week you will have such weather, this week there are various windy, or you may say this type of weather. How it is predicting? Based on the past experience is day may, like in this day, on this day we have such temperature and such happens. And it basically maintains the system behind that. It is not like it has some intelligence, it uses some intelligence to predict the things. Suppose taking an example of Ola. I am using Google Maps, I am booking a cab on Ola, and I am finding out like there are number of ways to move from Delhi to Noida. Like I am moving from Delhi to Noida, and it is showing me three routes, and on the one route it is showing some red area which has very high traffic, and in on the same time at the same time the other route is showing the there is less traffic on the at the same time. On the third route it is recommending me, it is predicting, it is showing me the third route which is having a long route which takes much time than other routes, but there is no traffic. So it predicts in advance what is the traffic information. It predicts what will be the price for following, if using this path, if you are following this route, or if you are following another route. How it is possible? It is possible with the help of AI only. So we should know we are using everything. We are using the like face recognition system. We are using Google Nest, Alexa, digital assistant. We are using email filters. All are AI enabled, and these are the applications of artificial intelligence. Let us move to the next thing. Like everybody heard about artificial intelligence, machine learning, and deep learning. Today I will give you a glimpse on these three terms and how they are different from each other. So the first is artificial intelligence. Under this, like I have talked about number of applications, how these applications are implemented with the help of ML and DL. We build AI enable application with the help of machine learning and deep learning itself. So let us first talk about machine learning. Machine learning is an application of artificial intelligence that provides systems the ability to automatically learn and improve from experience without being explicitly programmed. You need not have to program. Only you need to do is it feed the data and feed it by correct answers. Once you does this thing, the machine automatically learns from your past experience, right? So we will be going into the detail of this, like what are the types of machine learning, what are rule based system, what are learning based system. We will be going into the detail in the latest chapters, right? Let me give you a brief about deep learning. Deep learning is a part of a broader family of machine learning methods, but they are used for performing complex tasks. They are based on ANN, artificial neural networks, with representation learning. So basically, when we have a complex task to be performed, when we have a huge amount of data set to be used, we will be using deep learning. Whereas when we are talking about machine learning uses less amount of data in comparison to deep learning. So we can say that from this picture, deep learning is a subset of machine learning and machine learning is a subset of AI. So everybody should know this. Like deep learning comes under machine learning and machine learning comes under artificial intelligence. So because most of the people get confused, what is machine learning? What is deep learning? So yes, we should know about this thing, like machine learning models are there are three types of models. We should know how deep learning are implemented. Deep learning will be implemented using neural networks. And again, in deep learning we have segregated the deep learning part into different types of neural networks. It is not about only a single neural network we are going to use. There are number of things, because deep learning part is more complex than machine learning. Machine learning uses, like suppose I am taking an example, I have 100 records. I may be using machine learning for training the model. If I am having 10,000 records, I am giving you simple example. It's not like 100 or 1,000 records, it is bulk of records are there. If I am using 10,000 records, I may be using deep learning. So this is how we segregate these two terms, right? Let me give you a difference between these three terms. AI is trained final output machine which mimic like a human brain. Human brain means like we can think, we can talk, the machine can think, the machine can solve our problem. Even the machine is a good thinker. The machine is giving you the predictions. So they have given, like I have given the example Amazon Alexa. I have given it is understanding my language. It is going to provide me, like I am using Google Nest at my home, and it is going to provide me number of results. Sometimes I get bored. I am going to ask Google Nest, you are not better than Alexa. It say I am feeling bad. So how it understand the sentiments also. It understands my language. It understands my sentence. So this is how it is basically what is behind that. The next term, that is machine learning. I told you about machine learning is a subset of artificial intelligence, and it is a technique to achieve AI. Yes, it is how AI programs are written. It is either through machine learning, and if we have complex type of data set, it is going to be have we are going to have deep learning concepts, right? Like I have given you the example of spam detection or email filters, right? Moving to the next part, that is deep learning. Let us talk about something deep learning. Deep learning, I have told you, it is a subset of machine learning. It is a technique to achieve complex AI. And again, the example is number plate detection. So you have a huge picture. Like suppose I am moving on an expressway and I am over speeding my car. The camera that is AI enabled, it is going to take the picture. It is going to click the picture, and from the picture of the car, it is going to identify the most complex task is to identify the number plate and then extract the data that is written on that number plate. So how it is possible? It is through deep learning concepts only. We have we have such kind of things. Basically, how they are implemented using deep learning. So let us move into the deeper part of this. What is the difference between machine learning and deep learning? Let us start with the first difference. A lot of unlabeled training data is required to make correct conclusions, or you may say correct results. Now, everybody is not familiar with unlabeled training data. You may say the data you don't know. I'm going to tell you in the later chapters what is a labeled data set, what is unlabeled data set, what are the structured data, what is the unstructured data, right? So let us move to the next part, next side, that is machine learning. I told you machine learning work on less amount of data in comparison to deep learning. DL creates new features by itself. Yes, it learns and it creates the feature. Whereas ML features are accurately identified by users. You need to feed the system. You need to feed the system with correct answers. Yes. Yes, the most complex tasks must be solved by the deep learning models. Whereas when we have machine learning models, we are basically segregating the large problem into sub problems, like we may be using decision trees, we may be using random forest algorithms to do that, right? Another part, obviously, when the data set is less, we require less time. And if the data set is more, we require more time. So DL needs much more time to train, whereas ML needs less time to get train the model. DL does not require feature engineering, whereas ML requires feature engineering. We train the model with some data set, with some correct answers. So in later chapter, I'm going to tell you about what is labeled data set, what is unlabeled data set. Then you can easily understand what is feature engineering, what is labeled, what is unlabeled, like this. DL can have more hidden layers, that make it deeper and that can perform complex tasks. Obviously, when you have more number of hidden layers, the task is complex, the model is very complex, you are going to have number of calculations, but you have accurate results. Whereas in this part, ML can give good results in comparison to DL, right? But it is trained with small data set. So obviously you have single input layer, you have single hidden layer, and you have single output layer. Whereas, and again in these layers, like in hidden layers, you have neurons are also less as comparison to DL. DL gives best results on large data. I told you, when we talk about deep learning, they are talking about complex data set, and we are talking about huge amount of data set. Whereas in deep learning, in machine learning, it can give good results on large and small data set, as well as you may say small data set is more, it works more accurate with small data set. So I think, hope you have understand what is the difference between ML and DL, and what is AI, what are the different applications of AI which we are using in our daily life. And everybody is using in some form, like you have smartphone, you have Google lenses. It's you, if you have seen Google lens, have you seen this part? It takes your image, and according that images, it segregates the folders. Like my image, in my folder all the pictures are automatically saved. I need not have to save anything. It automatically segregates, it automatically extracts my features. And suppose I'm maintaining the data, I'm taking the clicking the pictures of somebody else, that is maintained in some other folder. So this is how it is segregating, how it is extracting the features. That is, obviously, that is artificial intelligence. So I'm stop presenting here, and we will be meeting you in other lectures on artificial intelligence. Thank you.